Hiya, it's Goblins, Henchman here. So I thought I'd do a quick video about a blog post I put on my my blog, funny enough. And it was this one here. The article was called "Die from 2 Dice," and I'll have a link to the blog post in the comments below. And so I got quite a lot of web traffic from this post, and but I also got quite a few questions about it as well, because I don't think not everyone grasp the idea straight away, or at least the methodology. So I thought if I do a few examples, then hopefully people maybe will follow the idea a bit better. So what's the overarching premise behind the article? Well, the idea is that we all have a certain number of dice that we're quite used to and have in our dice bag: D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, D20, and a percentile. But I realised, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, that you actually got quite a few other die that are kind of lurking, or dice lurking in your dice bag, that you might not fully immediately realise. For example, these ones, D16, 24, 36, and quite a few others. So what's going on here? Am I just going crazy? Am I a loon? Okay, so if I rolled a 9 and a 6 on these two D10, we'd probably immediately recognise that's a 96. But what we don't often realise is that we're doing some maths. And so for example, we're doing 9 times 10 is 90, plus 6, 96. And what we're really doing is doing 9 times the size of the slave die plus the value of the slave die. So 9 times D10, 90 plus 6. Okay, so the other thing I really would like you to focus on, latch on to, is that a D10 doesn't have a 10 on it, does it? It has a 0. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. So when you roll a 0, you don't have 10 here, for example, so that wouldn't be 106, it would be 06. So whenever the boss die is maximum, it's a 0. So let's do some combination, some rolls and see how we go. So here we go, we've got a D4 and a D6, so that's a D24, 4 times 6. So roll the first one, a 2. So 2 times 6 is 12 plus 5 is 17. Do another one. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. So we've hit the maximum roll we can get. 4. Great. So as we said, when the boss die is maximum, that's a 0. So 0 plus 1, that's the lowest we can get. It's almost fixed, like I programmed the thing. Okay, so there we go. So what we can also do, just to finish this example over, if we swap the boss and slave die over, the maths are slightly different. So in this case it would be whatever we roll on here times 4 plus this value. So let's do 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22. We have time for another one, let's have another go. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. So there you go, that's how it works. Let's just jump back to this. Okay, so the blog post. So here we go. Here are some of the dice you can get: a 9, a 16, an 18, 24 and a 16. There you go, there's a way of generating a random time of day. I'm not telling you how to use these dice. People infinitely creative and come up with their own ways. So you go, here's the rule: 1, 2, 3 steps, and alternative method 2. And then finally, just point out that you can make your life much simpler on the maths by making a grid: D6 along the top, D4 down the other side. So if you rolled a 2 and a 2, it would be an 8, or if you rolled a 2 and a 4, it would be 10. Although you can distribute these numbers in any order you want. It doesn't have to be sequential. So there you go, that's the idea. One thing I could point out, I suppose, is that sometimes these already have the multiplier fixed into it, don't they? So you get 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then just add it. There's no reason you couldn't make dice like that too, and you could make a D16 that read 0, 4, 8, 12, and then you would add it to the other D4. Anyway, that's the idea. Use it as you will.